welcome to the 2024 NCAA Division I Track and Field Championships and our press conference here this afternoon, or late this morning. I'll turn it over to the athletes for brief introductions and an introductory statement. Prior to that, I just want to say after that, we'll follow it with questions from the media. Introduce yourself by name and your outlet, the first question, and I'll do my best to moderate questions as we go. But we'll start first with Leo Neugebauer of Texas, and we'll follow with Alex Phillip of North Carolina, and immediately to my right, Christopher Morales-Williams of Georgia. So Leo, if you could start us with just talk about your anticipation, excitement for the championship, and how the season has gone for you up to this point, and then Alex will follow, and Christopher will finish up.
So I'm Leo Neugebauer. I'm a decathlete, and I'm very excited for these championships just because it's my senior year, my last year, and my season so far has been great. It went exactly the way we wanted it to go. I had one decathlon at Texas Relays, had a great score, and although it was right after Indo Nationals, had a good break now. I qualified also in the discus as well, which was just like we were trying it out, and I made it, so that's cool. And then, I'm excited for tomorrow and Thursday's decathlon.
Hi everyone, I'm Alex Phillip. I'm a long distance runner. I'll be running the 10K here tomorrow. I'm really excited to be here. You know, it's always been a dream of mine to make it to the D1 outdoor meet, and so to have a great season, run well at Brian Clay, and really see it come together in the end has been really exciting. So I'm super excited to race tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Christopher Morales-Williams. I specialize in the 400 meters, and I'm just excited because I've never been to Oregon before, and it's just like way different than stadiums that we have in Canada, and so it's just a really big championship, and the season so far has been great for me, and I can't wish for anything more, and so I can hopefully just come out here and just do my best to finish off the season.
Great. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll open to questions from the media. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I can start. Just going off of that, what have you heard about competing at Hayward Field, and what are you looking forward to?
I've heard, the World Championships were here in 2021, so obviously there's been a lot of great competitions here, and US trials I know also take place here. So I've heard just great things about this track, and I'm excited to run on it. I heard it's not actually Mondo, so I'm excited to see how it feels and everything, and I don't know, I also heard it's one of the best tracks in the world as well, so that'll be exciting.
Please, go ahead.
For Leo, you got to compete here at the World Championships. What was that experience like for you? And do you think now that you've competed here on the big stage, going out there this week won't be as nerve-wracking maybe as to some of the others?
I would say like big meets in general prepare you for future big meets, and I was here already 2021 and 2022 at NCAA championships, and then in 2022 also at the World Championships, and there just having the packed stadium and everything being so much fun, so many countries and stuff, all the stands are full and stuff. That's really like a different experience that prepares you to come back and compete here again and feels more comfortable.
Zach Chronicle, Leo, this question's for you. I want to ask about one of your teammates, Jeremiah Newby. First, kind of a two-parter. First, what's he like as a teammate, and two, as a sophomore, to have this type of out of the gate, performances? How surprising is that, or has that not been surprising at all?
So I feel like it hasn't been that surprising just because last year as a freshman he was already really good and showed great potential by making it already in the discus, which is not even his main event. And I think not making it in the hammer last year really got him more fire, and then being even better this year in the hammer. And I was actually also his roommate this last year, and you could really see that he's a really driven man in school and on the track, and that he has like a great future in front of him.
What's he like as a teammate?
He's a very he's very focused like all the time. Like when he's in practice, he is so locked in that like nothing can like really get him out of that zone. He's always making sure to take advantage of every single day, every single practice, and that makes him so good.
Owen Murray from the Daily Emerald. Alex, this one's for you. Are you preparing for this meet any differently than you prepare for any of the other meets this year, or is it just another meet for you?
You know, the way I look at it is it's just another day. Whether I'm running in Hayward in a stadium packed with fans or I'm running out on the track in Chapel Hill with Parker, it's just another day. You know, show up, do the same warm-up, get ready the same way, and race the same way. And so I'm excited to keep doing it.
Is that the same for you guys too?
Yep.
Alex, what really sold you on North Carolina, obviously making that transition up from the division level, and then now you're here, right, racing at the NCAA championships? Is that something you were pictured when Coach approached you? He's like, hey, we can do this for you.
Yeah. So when I was coming out of Division III and looking for what opportunity might be next, the two biggest things that ended up selling me on North Carolina was one, Coach Milton Bergen, Coach Ian sitting over there. You know, the level of professionalism that they keep. And the belief that they showed in me that, you know, I could be here and one of the top guys in the country 12 months ago was something really special to me. And then the opportunity to go train with guys like Parker Wolf, Ethan Strand, Gitch Hayes, you know, some of the best guys in the country and some of the best young guys in the country was really a special opportunity. And so, you know, iron sharpens iron, and they've been pushing me every day and I've been pushing them every day, and it's really culminated into a good season.
Podium Cities Mag. Alex, kind of piggybacking off of that question, obviously the times have been really good for you this year, but kind of under the hood a little bit, have you had any struggles with that transition from D3 to D1, or has it been pretty smooth for you?
It's honestly been really nice for me. You know, coming out of Division III, I felt like every meet I went to, I had a lot of pressure, whether it was to set a Division III national record or run a Division III national championship, whatever it might be. So to become a small fish in a big pond was really nice. Just got back to the basics of getting back to why I love running and why I love doing this, and so it was really nice to just be able to put my head down, go to work, and show up to race again.
Ashley Tishins with FloTrack, this is for Leo. Can you elaborate a little bit more maybe on why you decided to also do the individual discus on top of the decathlon?
Yeah, I kind of got surprised by that I was entered in the discus just because that wasn't discussed with me before. But I'm all good with that because it's just more practice for me, you know. And yeah, it also kind of showed me how, because I just get 3 attempts in the regional meet, that's exactly what it is in the decathlon. And then I'm going to be done with the decathlon anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Then I'll just be out there and try my best.
Brian with FloTrack for Leo. I know we saw you earlier this season at Texas Relays, and you put up a really good point total and score. And obviously you set the NCAA decathlon record on home turf last year at NCAA's. How have you kind of built on that success from Texas Relays? And you know, you said I think that was like one of your best Texas Relays like points. And this year you're obviously in a better place moving forward. We saw you training. You've done a lot of great things. How are you feeling leading into the championships as far as the training and some of those things that you were working on earlier in the season? How are they starting to click for those championships?
Yeah, I always kind of like compare myself now to where I was last year at that point, and every single heptathlon, decathlon was a little bit better or a lot better than last year at that point. So the entire trajectory is just going upward, and I feel fantastic. I haven't been hurt at all. I could train through, and I'm really excited to compete tomorrow.
This question's for Christian. What's the approach with this week? Obviously, Canadian trials are right around the corner. How are we feeling going into the Canadian trials?
Well, it's actually Christopher, and Canadian trials are at the end of June, so I have quite a month until I have to worry about that. But my goal is just to, you know, do NCAAs, of course, because it's right now, and then I'm going right back home on Sunday, and then just kind of train, but you know, deload for a bit off the championship, and then train back into Canadian trials, and then through Canadian trials all the way until Olympic.
Can I add on that, Christopher? Can you talk about your progression this year, you know, with Georgia? I mean, you've had such a successful year. How would you describe the way you progressed through indoor into outdoor?
I would describe it almost as if like, it's almost, I would say like an exponential graph, right? As you do something great, it kind of gets even greater. And so kind of, once I kind of got on this roll of, you know, PBing each meet, every meet after that almost felt easier to PB, whereas last year it felt like it was, you know, I was always thinking about, you know, the next race. It was just such a struggle, so much pressure to try to perform. I kept thinking about the next meet, whereas now I just kind of focus on the moment. And then I used that confidence to go into the next meet, and then from indoor going to outdoor, it was more of, I was more excited because I don't really like indoor that much, and I prefer outdoor. And so coming outside and running around the oval one time instead of twice it was just more of an excitement to just come out here and then just, keep performing and keep getting better, and it just kept rolling each meet.
For Leo, is Brian Clay's decathlon best in the discus something that's going to be on your mind this week? I think he's on like 3 meters further than that in an open discus competition, but.
So what's the question?
Is Brian Clay's decathlon best in the discus something that's going to be on your mind in the decathlon?
Oh, if it's going to be on my mind. I mean, that's been on my mind since last year. I threw like 80 centimeters below that, so I almost broke it. And then at Nationals, on my last throw, it was like a good amount over that record. And then I think it fell out the sector or something like that. And then that was just like so unfortunate, But it happens, and yeah, that's why this year I just focused on just being very consistent and just consistently doing that. And at the last 3 meets, I've been like 3 meters over that. So that's why I'm just trying to work on that consistency. That's why the regional meet was also, as I said, another practice for that. And yeah, I'm just excited to go out there and try my best.
I've got a question for both Alex and Leo. Christopher spoke about an exponential curve after he's had a calendar year with a lot of breakthroughs, and then also talked about what's next for him in the trials. In this moment, his focus is on the NCAA championships. So I'll turn to you, Alex, to talk about that same, maybe not an exponential curve, but the breakthrough as the NCAA leader right now, where you're at, and then this weekend, and then beyond. And then after Alex wraps up, if Leo, you want to follow too.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just been it's been 4 years of culminating work coming together. There's been quite a few drops this season in PRs and just about every event I've run, but it goes back to the work that's been done the 4 or 5 years before that. And so we'll have NCAAs tomorrow, and then I'll just be taking it day by day until I get into the trials in about 15, 20 days. So very excited for that as well.
Yeah, for me, it kind of started in Texas relays last year, where I noticed that, wow, I can really do great things, because that's when I hit the first time the Olympic standard. And from that moment, I was kind of sure already that I was going to go to the Olympics. And then from there on, I just started to get way more focused and took everything more serious. I thought I took it serious before, but then I really took it serious. And yeah, and then after last season, I was like, yeah, I'm going pro without going pro. Just the mindset of going pro, it was in my head. Took everything I did really serious, and yeah, the results showed.
Eric.
Excuse me, for Alex, obviously you've been an incredible ambassador for the Tar Heels since joining Coach Milton, the group, but just how much at times like this do you think about all those people that were so instrumental in the journey back at John Carroll, and just kind of carrying them in your heart and your mind on the track when he's getting ready to race the 10K?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it takes a village to accomplish anything, and I wouldn't be here without the support that I had at John Carroll. Kyle's dad, my coach at John Carroll, willing to financially support me to travel all over and be able to get to the races to compete. Kyle putting in long days to make sure that I had the opportunities, the right training, the belief in me. Every need that I had the last 4.5, 5 years to be able to get to this point and be a successful runner has been met. And so I'm extremely grateful for everyone that's been in my corner and everyone that's offered support for me to get to this point.
Any other questions before we wrap up? We will, with sincere appreciation, thank you to Leo, Alex, and Christopher for joining us here today. As we wrap up, we'll ask the three of you to stand and pose for a picture for the media to grab a final shot.